Okay, in this one, we are trying to find the slope between the two given points. So these right here are ordered pairs. And if you recall, ordered pairs are made up of an x coordinate and a y coordinate. So I have an x coordinate and a y coordinate for each ordered pair that's located here. If you watch the other video, we found the slope when it was on a graph. This time we're not given a graph. You can always go back to that same strategy if you like. But sometimes these numbers are not always going to be integers. They could be fractions and decimals as well. But I'm going to show you with these integers how to use what's known as the slope formula. So here is the slope formula. Okay, so here we have slope equals the little m, that's the notation that we use for it, and it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you recall, remember slope was a fraction, rise over run. So if you forget which letters go where, think about it, which values go with rising, going up and down. That's the y's. And then the run is the x's that go left and right. All right. So what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is label my ordered pairs over here. I have these ordered pairs. And like I said earlier, these are my x and y ordered values in each ordered pair here. So this first one, I'm just going to call my x1. I'm going to call this my x1 since this is my first ordered pair, and this is my y1 because this is my first ordered pair. The second ordered pair will be my x2 and my y2. So all I'm going to do is take these values over here and plug them into this formula and simplify. All right, so let's start plugging it in. So what I'm going to do, I'm looking for my y value, my y2, because that's going to go right here into that y. So I'm going to put 3 minus my y1 right here is the -7. So minus -7 over. Now I'm looking for x2. My x2 is this 2 right here. So I'm going to put 2 minus my x1, which is 4. Right there. So once I plug in or substitute all the values, I go ahead and simplify. So at the top I have 3 minus a -7, and subtracting a negative is the same thing as adding a positive. So that's going to be 10 on the top. And then 2 take away 4, or 2 minus 4 is going to give me a -2. And we can go ahead and simplify that by 2, divide by 2 on the top and the bottom. So that gives me 5 over -1, or simply -5. So let me get that, -5. So my slope, or m, equals -5, my slope. Okay, so here's a second set of points. I'll do it once again with less labeling this time. So just kind of remember what the slope formula is. So I'm going to write that. Slope formula is y2 minus, or actually I'm going to do it the other way because sometimes students ask, does the order matter? So I'm going to put y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So as long as you keep the subtraction consistent, meaning you start with your first ordered pair. If you start with your first y, you have to start with your first x. In the top, we started with our second y and our second x. So as long as you keep it consistent, it will be correct. So first off, let's go ahead and label this x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So I'm going to go ahead and substitute those values in. So I'm looking for y1 first this time. So I'm going to have 8. Take away my y2, which is -6. So that's -6. And be careful, there's a subtraction in the formula and it's a -6. So that's why there's the double sign right there. x1 is -2. Subtract x2, which is 5, right there. And now we go ahead and simplify this. So we simplify. Again, 8 take away a negative 6 is the same thing as adding a positive 6. So that's going to be positive 14. And then negative 2 take away a 5. We're subtracting. Again, subtraction, you could add the opposite, which is adding a negative 5. So now we're adding a negative 2 and a negative 5, which is negative 7. And again, it looks like we could simplify this down to be negative 2. Okay, so my slope of between these 2 points is negative 2.